Peter Milliman, 5th season as the Hopkins head coach. He's elevated Hopkins back near where they expect to be in the hunt every season for a national title. Looking for a bounce back win today after losing 11-8 to Rutgers in their Big Ten opener last week. And Hopkins comes up with the ball first. Kevin Connery would like to see that different team show up in late March, perhaps, and maybe the win, their first ever against a #1 team in triple overtime last week against Maryland, can start that process. Mulholland lets it rip and scores. His 15th goal of the season, now in sole possession of the team lead.
Aiden Mulholland been a staple for this offense this year. I think the biggest aspect, if all young lacrosse players out there, look at the way he steps into this thing, cans it. Go time for Michigan, and the crowd's already here. We have a pretty good attendance for a rainy day. They're used to the weather. Any college coach will tell you if you want to win the game, it starts on the ground. Ground ball play is really where the Blue Jays are going to have to, put more of their time today.
Also last in caused turnovers, unusual for Hopkins, at least based on their defense the last couple of years. And there's another goal for Michigan. Alex LaBelle sends it in, and Michigan looks strong early.
This crowd is rocking. We got the windows open in the booth. We're feeling this firsthand. And look he sees the slide coming, moves it forward, and Bo Lockwood sees upfield, inside, catch, jump shot. Look at the placement. Oh, hit someone's foot.
And this offense lost so much from last year, specifically their top 2 scorers with Garrett Degnan, Jacob Angelis, who was the conductor. It's been a feeling out process with the offense. Michigan starting lineup. On the doorstep at the crease, and another goal for LaBelle. The dish from Mulholland, a goal and an assist for Aiden Mulholland, and it's all Michigan to start.
It is all Michigan to start. Alex Loball looks fantastic. I think that's his 2nd goal so far. The fake, the defender goes, and he cans it right on the doorstep. It's all Michigan right now. You can feel the crowd. Doesn't stop with the rain, and this is great placement. Alex with the fake and sticks it right past Jelinas.
Eiler throws straight away. Dylan Bauer getting the start today in the attack.
Bauer's an underestimated player. The black cleats out there, an interesting choice. It's either hit or miss for some of the guys.
Another save for Taylor off the hot shot.
Wasn't expected by many, and definitely shaking some heads and been on some scattering reports this season.
9 goals, all in the last 4 games. And helping with the absence of Melendez. Taylor had an easier save that time and scoops it up.
This is what we've been wanting to see. Cohen for Scott Smith, the matchup really of the game.
Cohen operating. Mulholland right in front of the crease, and a huge save. The 2nd for Jelinas. It was Morgan on the doorstep, but Michigan gets it back.
Michigan has some potential here.
Shot clock to 20. And back to Cohen. Cohen accelerating around Luke Martin, serpentine, and bounces out. Only 10 on the shot clock. LaBelle hounded and scooped up by Hopkins. Transition opportunity. Here comes Hopkins. Extra feed, quick shot, and it's saved again by Taylor. Morgan with 10. Right at the near post, around the crease, up top, bouncer, and Jelinas saves it.
Jelinas, what a save.
How good of a skip passer were you?
I was a Dodger. We'll keep it at that. It's funny seeing this field. This is where I actually had my first career goal, so it's interesting looking back.
Here's a turnover. Michigan on the run. Brandon Plemons. LaBelle. Space cut off quick. The low sweeper. Jelinas again.
Jelinas, that's save 6 for Jelinas. He's looking great. I feel for Michigan, one of the biggest question marks we haven't seen yet is Nick Rude. He's just not in the lineup. Is he hurt? We haven't seen him yet play on this field. And
there's Mulholland. They've got Rude, they've got Mulholland, plenty of balance, and that's the second for the leading goal scorer for the Wolverines.
Aiden Mulholland, time, room, bangarang, there he goes. That's what you want. Stick side, Jelinas potentially can make that save. Draws two, Aiden's top center, he's licking his chops.
Case Van Wees defending. Out to English, conductor for this offense. Chauvet curling around the pick. Chauvet finds space, goes low, and Taylor's there again.
What a save.
Morgan going right at the cage. Down he goes, and the ground ball scooped up by Hopkins.
Scott Smith clearing it himself. Scott Smith potentially could be a second-round draft pick in the Premier Lacrosse League, which would be something special.
One of the best defenders in the country, and that one finally goes in for Hopkins. It's Chauvet from long range.
Credit to Scott Smith here, taking advantage as a guy that's an older guy, right? You know, can take the lead, bring it up, clear it himself, and making the easy pass down the alley, and then obviously feeding the inside to Chauvet, where he makes a shot and it kind of trickles in, but a goal is a goal.
Taylor almost got it. That last bounce just went over the line after hitting his hamstring.
If you're Hopkins there, you got to capitalize. You know, you look at Milliman right now, his head's down because he knows they have to capitalize on these moments.
Chick down to the ground, and that'll do it. Taylor with another stop, his fifth.
Michigan want this to happen, to play deep into the shot clock, to make the other team play their game. And Michigan stops and scores, and there it is.
What a turn of events. Pace Billings off the turnover.
The crowd is erupting here in Ann Arbor. Pace Billings, another Princeton transfer, along with Luke Stanton. A little midfield goal, pole goal. Jelinas overthrows one of his players, and they can it. And as a goalie, that has to be one of the worst feelings when he gets scored on by the opposite long pole.
And Jelinas had played so well, and then an overthrow like that.
Definitely a lot of questions. Big Ten preseason champs for sure, getting ranked as low as 4, then kind of getting bumped up. A lot of these close one-goal wins. And you kind of knew it was inevitable with the loss to Rutgers. They just can't keep winning by 1 goal in this league.
Rawson to Chauvet. His second and Hopkins' second.
They need a little spark there. Rawson to Chauvet. We've seen that time and time again, and it's something special with this offense. When they get rolling, it's hard to stop them. And Rawson, the little left to left sweeping, and keeps his head up as he's coming downfield and finds Chauvet. And look at the finish. Chauvet, the touch and tap inside the net.
A couple days before this game today, I don't know if I can answer that question. Michigan's been banged up across the board.
You look at their sideline, they have a ton of guys on injury reserve, and same with Hopkins.
What a pass from Cohen, but Stanek can't finish it. Jelinas, brick wall once again. Trying to move to 2-0 in Big Ten play.
Michigan taking their sweet time. This is what Connery wants, to play deep into the shot clock, to make them play their game.
Dodge around Eric McDonald, that went in! LaBelle's been on fire, his first career hat trick.
LaBelle with the shake and bake. He looks outstanding, sophomore, with his first hat trick. He looks great. The Michigan Wolverines, they look outstanding. LaBelle came out hot with the first 2 goals and put a little shake and bake Ricky Bobby action on behind X, coming around. Bang time 5-hole on Jelinas.
That narrative is flipped so far. 8 of them in the first half for Hopkins.
And you kind of saw a little teaser last week with Hopkins having a big turnover game, throwing balls over people's sticks and not making the smart decision again in that Rutgers game. And today you're seeing a very similar sign.
What a find from Eiler to Bauer. That was beautiful, Mitchell.
That was nice. And that's the Hopkins offense we've seen time and time, year after year. And that's what these guys need to get back to playing. The feed from X to the inside, cutters are going back and forth. And Bauer, in the black cleats sticks it. You can see Rawson coming around the left side with a little pick from Brooks English, and then English gets it, ties him up, and keeps his head above, and then finds Bauer with a little coffee can bottom left. You gotta love that.
Here comes Jimmy Ayers, cut off by Max Bonner. Quick dodge for Ayers on the doorstep, and he scores again, plus a flag. Through the contact with a push, Ayers able to send it home.
Ayers and Brooke English are some of the most shiftiest guys in college lacrosse right now, and we saw that. Putting it to the right, making 90 overstep, and there it is with the hesitation coming across the crease. And if you're an offensive player, that's the best spot to be, because as a defender, there's not much you can do, right? You can push him in the back and try to get away with a penalty, but obviously right here, that did not happen.
Can cut it to 1 on this possession. Third quarter's been all Hopkins so far. Collison powering right through, but Taylor makes the save. Attempting to trap it near the edge of the crease, and he does.
For Collison, in my opinion, to not have a goal yet this game is not great.
Little shake and bake there from Van Wees. Response from the Wolverines. Lockwood.
Bo Lockwood. Bang time. You gotta love that. You just licking your chops for that shot. Time, room, as a right-handed player on that right side. First off, starts on the defensive side. Collison gets the ankle shook. And then 1 pass, 2 pass, Lockwood catches it. Bang time, top right.
Dodging up top. Ayers, the last goal for Hopkins. Eiler with the spin, he can be a tornado. That was punched in the air by Taylor. Couple of swats, ends up in a Hopkins goal. Sean Crogan's 3rd of the season after he scored last week against Rutgers, 7-5.
Sean Crogan, you know, as a goalie though, if I'm Hunter Taylor and the ball's around the top of the crease, it's absolutely, we're throwing bodies. We're trying to move people out of there, and that's the last thing you want from a defensive perspective. Oh, and we got a little challenge flag from Connery here.
That's phenomenal. All right, let's check out the whole play, start to finish. Eiler took a lick. Anything stand out to you there, Mitchell?
Maybe Eiler, as he's coming down, since the goal is not good, he lands in the crease. That could potentially be it, but other than that, we don't see anything. Sean does not go into the crease after the fact.
No goal. Plays waved off.
But a great heads-up play by Coach Connery.
Collison works around Ennis, goes top shelf. Matt Collison's first goal, and Hopkins does climb within 2, just to possession later.
That's the Matt Collison everybody wants. And for Hopkins, they need to see Matt Collison is a junior this year, next year a senior, and a potential first-round draft pick in the pros. He needs to be doing this and really putting the team on his back. That should be a mainstay at least 1 or 2 times each game for the Blue Jays.
Clemens straight away now. Ori Calhoun roaming around, trying to swipe it away from Clemens. Lock with the fake. Dish inside, turning shot. Jelinas meets it.
Jelinas, 10th save of the day. They didn't slide to anybody. Rutgers' defense was, hey, we're going to win our matchups. And we might be seeing a little bit of that today.
Michigan taking notice with the film. Collison able to pick up the loose ball and send it in again. Back-to-back goals for Big Matt, and it's a 1-goal game.
Collison looks great.
A timeout. Michigan on top by 1. They led by 4 at halftime, but Collison's starting to get going. One of the better players for Johns Hopkins over the last few years, has momentum, and the team does too.
All about.
Mulholland up top and goes high. Cohen there in the backup. You got to credit the Hopkins defense locking in as a whole, but certainly Scott Smith as well.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, Scott Smith on Cohen. Cohen has 5 shots, hasn't made 1 yet. And Cohen, a potential second round draft pick in the Pro Lacrosse League. It's going to be something special.
Freed up by the pick, and he scores! Hopkins knew this would be a problem when defending Cohen coming in, and he finally strikes.
We talked about it earlier. Connery has said it. The pick play for Cohen is so important. Scott Smith gets mixed up in the 5-hole where Mama keeps the cookies. Sneaks it right by Jelinas, and that puts up Michigan by 2.
About the leadership for Collison. There was nearly a turnover once again, and Rawson with it. That's an area of improvement for Matt Collison as he's gotten later in his career. Rawson on the doorstep and scores it. Back to a 1-goal game.
And that's exactly what Milliman and this Blue Jay offense wants. They have this style of player, these thin, shifty guys that want to match up against the shorties. We saw it with Rawson, and he gets inside, fake low, come back near side, and makes it happen. And that's exactly what these guys want. A little shake and bake up top, off that left shoulder. And again, he's going to be a dominant goalie at the next level. And already a Michigan staple, and especially, within this program.
On the doorstep, Taylor does it again. The shot from Rawson, and some frustration with a swipe. 10 on the shot clock. Does Hopkins have some late clock magic? Burke scores! Flags fly after the goal. We are tied.
What a play. Burke really stepping up into this mold. And you can kind of tell him going behind X with the pick play was more of a setup. And then Burke comes around here, beats his defender, swings it back to the left, and cans it right above Hunter Taylor's shoulder. This is a momentum goal. This is huge for Hopkins. Saw Russell Melendez injured, cheering on the boys on the sideline.
Thought about the rollback to Cohen instead. Quentin Kilrain on him now. Scott Smith has been the primary defender against Cohen. Across the way, nice catch, Houlihan scores! Third straight game of the goal, and Michigan back in front.
Excellent dodging right here by Michigan. To be able to dodge Cohen with his head up, Houlihan sees Scott Smith coming, pivots back upfield, slings it high, right over Jelinas' head.
Who do you like here for Hopkins on this possession?
I would go to Bauer. I like Bauer. I think he's been sneaky, and to get him in a position to dodge, potentially on a shorty, to have some pick play for him would be important. And we're going to see something different. Hunter Taylor.
Another save. Off the shot from Chick and scooped up by Michigan. And looked like there was 7 out there for Hopkins with guys going in and out. Man up and a score. Stanitz takes advantage. Michigan up 2.
Luke Stanit. You heard the name in Princeton the past 4 years. Comes to Ann Arbor, bang. You gotta love that. With the knee brace, the Navy cleats, and just sticks it.
LaBelle able to nab it. Under 2.5 to go. Shot clock under 30. Mulholland bounces in. Aiden's been on his A game today. A hat trick, and Michigan up by 3 with just over 2 to play.
That could have been the deal sealer. Aiden Mulholland's been elite all day, and he just does it here again. Dodging down, a little stutter. He sees the slide, then keeps going, puts it back into strong hand, where the mama keeps the cookies 5-hole. Potentially just called game. Stirring the juice? What do we call that, Jack?
I don't really know. They were stirring something. and it was absorbed pretty quick. And a face-off win for Lauterbach.
That's huge. And if we're Hopkins, you start to see Scott Smith and Kilroy back out, and they're going to double the ball here.
Oh, contact upstairs, little wraparound near the neck from Smith. And Kevin Conry literally ran over the end line near the play to get the timeout.
Definitely does.
Scott Smith able to take it away from Houlihan, what Hopkins needed. Long hill to climb, though, under 2 left. Collison. Now it's Eiler. Hopkins has got to move quick. Taylor the save on the shot from Chauvette. Under a minute remaining here in Ann Arbor.
This is a huge, huge win for Michigan. To come to a rival as the head coach, it was a little bit questionable. They didn't know the exact route, but Conry has really turned this program around and made them a mainstay.
Rawson not able to convert. And Hopkins will keep it. And the shot clock at 42, but all for naught. One final stuff. And for the first time, Michigan beats John Hopkins in Ann Arbor and moves to 2-0 in Big Ten play.